Boom! Ha! Get it? Because I'm an idiot. What's up, Fin fans? So, if you don't know what the hell that intro was, is because yesterday, in my scribbles of notes for OTAs, I wrote scared cow instead of sacred cow because I'm an idiot. So, yeah. But anyway, what's up, Fin fans? It is day 9, last days of OTAs. I'm going to do a review of the OTAs. Safid Dean, who is a beat writer for the Miami Dolphins, he's new. He was new last season. If you guys don't know about him, he was a Safadamas. I think he predicted the scores, plays, and everything for the first 2 or 3 games, and he was really good at predicting games for the Dolphins last year. He wrote an article essentially reviewing the Dolphins OTAs. I'm gonna break it down for you guys. I'm going to talk about it, put my input on it. But before I get into Safadin's article, I just want to real quick review the OTAs in my own perspective. So the OTAs you got to take with a grain of salt. It's organized team activities. It's not the sexy part of the offseason. It's not the training camp. It's not even next week's mandatory minicamp, which is the 4th, 5th, and 6th. And again, you'll get a video from me the 4th, 5th, and 6th breaking down. Hopefully it's open to the media or whatever, anything that happens in mandatory minicamp. But it's a good idea to see, how people are doing, seeing some of the flashes, seeing how how Flores is implementing what he wants to do, his scheme and stuff. But again, they're not wearing pads. They're not tackling to the ground. It's a glorified flag football. So a lot of what's happening is oh, that's nice. That's nice. You can't get really too excited about OTAs. If you remember, Gesicki was killing it in OTAs, and then he kind of disappeared when the pads came on, the season came on, because all of a sudden the physicality of football was implemented, and he kind of disappeared. So, I gave you guys breakdowns, every second day of OTAs for the past 3 weeks, and I had some excitement in my voice because football was back, but you also have to temper it. You also have to, keep it level-headed. He talks about it in this article, but I wanted to just reiterate that it's OTAs. Like I said, it's organized team activities. There's a ton of vets all around the NFL that don't go to these things, from Antonio Brown to Odell to Melvin Gordon, Rashad Jones. There's a ton of vets that just don't go to these things because it's a waste of time for them. But there are some things that I wanted to talk about and reiterate. Preston Williams killed it. Again, this is without pads. This is without contact. This is without tackling. But he still did really well, and he still showed that without the off-the-field issues, he might have been, a 3rd round, maybe higher pick. But he had so many off-the-field issues that he became undrafted. Then you have Sam. Now, one of you guys helped me pronounce his name. Iguavegan. Yeah, Iguavegan. Sam Iguavegan. Linebacker number 49. Sorry, I am dyslexic. Really, it's shining. Undrafted signee. Who the hell was he? You didn't know who his name from Joe Schmo that played left tackle. Look him up. Joe Schmo was a good left tackle before we cut him yesterday. There was no Joe Schmo. But he's coming up, 2 interceptions, really, really showing. And this is where teams, especially next week and then training camp, end of June, July, where these types of players need to step up and show, hey, I can do this. I can be a star for you guys, if you just implement me more. So, that Jamal Wiltz, I think it was week 2's open to OTAs, was killing it. Really shined. Mark Walton, another guy who had off-the-field issues that we signed during rookie minicamp. We brought him in. He was a one-year guy in the NFL. Brought him in. He's doing really well. And again, this is another name that you're going to hear, that you always hear did well when the pads weren't on, But I always think this guy can do well if he stays healthy, and that's Devontae Parker. I never think that Devontae Parker was a bad pickup, was a bad wide receiver. He just can never stay healthy. When this dude is healthy, he's good. He's not like an elite wide receiver, but we don't know that yet because he hasn't played a full season. But he's good. His problem isn't his play. His problem isn't his skill. His problem is his health. But, just to run down some names and just talk about OTAs and my thought process on it. And, again, it's the OTAs. Next week, rookie mandatory minicamp is going to be interesting for many of reasons that I'll talk about in Safadine's article. And training camp. I'm very excited for training camp. Training camp is going to be awesome. Training camp is really going to show us who's making big plays, because once the pads come on and once they start tackling, some people will disappear and some people will shine. And the some people that weren't shining in the OTAs, it's because you can't do much without pads on. And that goes for offensive linemen and defensive linemen and the pass rush and all that stuff. So it's going to be interesting. I don't remember how the process is about open to the media. I know some of the practices won't be play-by-play, but I know a bunch of them will. And I know a bunch of them will have some footage that I'll be able to pop up so you guys can see what the flip-flop and the flim-flam I'm talking about. But let's get into Safadine's 10 things that we've learned from OTAs. I'll tell you what he says, and then I'll give you guys my opinion on it. The first thing he talks about is Flores says Dolphins moving in right direction. So essentially, Brian Flores constantly has been saying that the Dolphins are moving in the right direction. He likes what they're doing, all that stuff. But that's what every coach says during this time of the year. They don't want to be like, oh, my team isn't getting it. My team doesn't understand that you're supposed to hit the B gap, not the A gap. These linemen, they're not going to bash them during this point in the season, because this point in the season, for some new guys, you're learning the team still. So he's saying that the team's moving in the right direction. I honestly believe him. There's something about Brian Flores that I really like. He is a defensive guy. He helped the Patriots win a Super Bowl with his defense. I don't care what people say. During the playoffs, it was his defense that won them those games. But I like the fact, I'll say this again, I think this might be the fourth time I've said this, I like the fact that he has coached or been an assistant coach in all aspects of a team. So he knows how to run a team versus just being offense or defense and letting the other guy do his thing. He's going to be a head coach. He's going to be constantly with his headset on, constantly on the sideline, regardless if the offense, defense, or special teams is on, because he coached it all. So the fact that he says that they're moving in the right direction, I believe him, and I kind of can feel it. Then Safadine, his second thing was, Brian Flores compliments Charles Harris without anyone even asking him about Charles Harris. Kind of just comes out and says it about Charles Harris. I think, in all honesty, Charles Harris is going to be the surprise comeback player. Now, I'm not talking injury comeback, but I'm surprise comeback player where Charles Harris you're going to start hearing his name more. You're going to start having broadcasters be like, oh, this Charles Harris came out of nowhere. The first round pick a couple of years ago is actually starting to play to his potential, blah, blah, blah. That's because Brian Flores knows how to use him in the right spot. His defensive coordinator knows how to use Charles Harris in the right spot. Like I said in a video maybe about like last week, they want to start taking their best players and accommodating the playbook to them versus taking players that aren't comfortable in their position and forcing them to accommodate to their playbook. That's what Adam Gase did a lot. He took players that necessarily shouldn't be in a certain situation and said, well, you need to learn this. Gesicki, well, I want you to... I don't care that you're not good at run blocking. Go in there and run block. Oh my God, a tackle for 3-yard loss. Keep doing it. What are we going to, you see what I'm saying? So I honestly think Charles Harris is going to have a good year. Then he talks about Rosen starting to get confidence or comfortable. And yes, during all of OTAs, and when I'm giving you guys the play-by-plays, which, again, I give you what the beat writers give me because I'm not there to watch it, nor is anybody. No fans are allowed. It's just the beat writers are allowed. So a lot of what the beat writers are telling me is what I'm giving you. most of it has been Fitzpatrick doing really well. Most of it has been, Rosen has thrown some dimes or dots, as you like to call them. Rosen has made some great plays. Rosen has made some bad plays. Fitzpatrick has made some bad plays. Ruddick is just there. In all honesty, it's between Rosen and Fitz. But you got to understand something. This is Josh Rosen's 5th offensive coordinator in 2 years. It's going to take him a hot minute to get comfortable in the new system, get comfortable making the throws, and get comfortable making throws to these new receivers that he's never played with before. I think he's doing better than he would, and I think he's doing better than people think he's going to do as of right now in the learning process. So he's getting more comfortable, and I agree with that one. The Rashad Jones saga continues is the next thing he says, and I'm not talking about Rashad Jones anymore because I've given you guys my opinion, and I can give you 100 examples of veterans not being at OTAs. I gave you 3 in my intro with Antonio Brown, Odell Beckham, Melvin Gordon. I could give you more of just these vets that OTAs is just. Jason Taylor used to not go to OTAs. You don't need to be at OTAs. You have mandatory minicamp, which is next week, he'll be there, and you have all of training camp to be there. Why is this guy who's literally right now rehabbing his shoulder so he can be 100%, so he could play all 16 games, take the chance of getting injured? Look at Reuben Foster, tore his LCL and his ACL, and he's out for the year. Again, I'm not talking about it. Then he talks about Bobby McCain's new role, which is safety. And it's not a joke. Bobby McCain is now training with his corner and safety. So slot corner, boundary corner, and safety, which, at first I was like, Bobby McCain struggled in the boundary corner. Why would we put him at safety? But then the more I thought about it, he's got the speed and the hard hitting to play safety. Bobby McCain hits hard. So I have no idea what Brian Flores is doing defensive-wise, but this aspect of it is making me more excited. Again, I've said this 100 times. I'm very excited for the season, not because I think we're going to go 11-5, win the division, and make it far into the playoffs, but because I don't know what's going on. I don't know Flores' coaching. I don't know his offense and defensive schemes. I don't know what's going on. I don't know, if an offensive lineman gives up, it's 3rd and 4 and Josh Rosen, let me say this because if I don't, some of you guys get mad. Josh Rosen throws a bomb for a touchdown and then all of a sudden our right tackle, let's say it's Isaiah Prince, holding call, and it costs us that touchdown and then all of a sudden we end up losing the game. Will he rip into him? We don't know. So that's the excitement that I get. So, the fact that Bobby McCain is learning to play safety, I'm very excited because I don't know. I don't know what this defense is going to look like. And then the Dolphins are excited about their new receiver, which is Preston Williams, which, again, I already talked about him, but we're all very excited about him. If he can really continue to contribute with the pads on, he contribute when he starts to get jammed at the line of scrimmage and starting to get more of an aggressive coverage. Sky's the limit with this guy. A lot of you guys are telling me he mosses people and he has the Randy Moss attributes. I would love, love, love to have a Randy Moss on our team. So the Finns might be excited about him, but I know the fact the Dolphins are excited about him. And then he talks about the Dolphins' new pass rusher, Adolphus Washington, how he was a 3rd-round pick, and he's doing well. He's reuniting with his former teammates in Raekwon McMillian. He makes millions, so why not? Raekwon McMillan and Jerome Baker. I'm excited. Again, I have no expectations for him because, in all honesty, I think, they're camp bodies, some of these guys, but they have that fire and that fight in them that they were high round picks, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th round picks. And they just couldn't make it on their team. So the Dolphins are giving them a chance, and sometimes you need that chance. Cameron Wake. Again, I'm not saying we have the next Cameron Wake in any of these guys, but sometimes you just need that chance. And you can show people they were wrong and turn it around. Then he talks about the newcomers turning heads. And again, Sam Iguavagan. I think I said his name right now. That's what I'm going to call him. Iguavagan. If you don't like it, tell me it's wrong and then show me the difference. But he is He's doing really well, and he's shining. 2 interceptions. Number 49, look out for him. But yeah. And then he says that Flores plans to instill culture, and that, talks about the TNT sign, that talks about, if you don't do your job or if you mess up, there's going to be a punishment. It's that structure, it's that discipline, and I like it a lot. You give up an interception, you give up a pass, you give up some, go run to that TNT sign or give me some push-ups. It's also the conditioning. I talked about that. The conditioning is huge. You're going to have the offense or the defense suck and win, and you're going to be over here as, spry as a I don't know what the term is. But you're going to be good and start owning it. Even on the road, oh, God, we got to go to San Diego, or, oh, God, we got to go overseas. I'm going to be tired. No, because Brian Flores and this new front office and these new trainers are going to have you conditioned where it doesn't matter where we go. You're going to be like, all right, cool, we're playing football tonight. All right, I got like 2 hours of sleep, but I'm going to whip your ass. So we're very excited. And then the last thing he talks about is it's important to keep perspective in the off season. And that's kind of what I talked about in the beginning when I talked about what the OTAs actually are. Because Ryan Fitzpatrick says, believe culture will be set in on the season when we get on the field. Essentially, there's so much that you can do in the OTAs and in the off season that you can't really implement it nor see it being implemented until they get on the field and they start playing legit football. And yeah, you got to keep a level head. Like I said, and one of you guys mentioned in the comment section, look at Gesicki. We had such high hopes for Gesicki because Gesicki was doing very well, and all of a sudden the pads came out, the physicality of football started to be implemented, and Gesicki disappeared. So you got to keep a perspective, a level head. Now, do I think the Dolphins are going to go 11-5 and win the division, or go 11-5 and make the playoffs as a wild card? No. I honestly, this is my motto. Maybe I might, so I'm making t-shirts. I might get this on the back of a t-shirt. I'd rather be surprised than let down. Because I say this over and over again, because I expect this team to go about 6 wins right now. Right now, before I see them play in the preseason, before I see anything happen, I see a 6-win team. If they go 8-8, I'm happy. I'm surprised. If they go 9-7, I'm happy. I'm surprised. Level-headed. I honestly don't see them going 0-16. I obviously don't see them going 2-12. I honestly don't see them going 2-12, 2-14. I obviously don't see them going 4-12. Maybe a 5-11, 6-10. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong in the past, and when I'm wrong, I own up to it. But when it comes to my expectations and predictions for this team, especially last season, a lot of people had them barely winning any games, and I just didn't believe it. And then they won 3 to jump, and all of a sudden, a lot of those people were wrong. So, but you got to keep a level head. Keep a perspective. It's OTAs. It's like I said, it's glorified flag football. But be sure to comment below. Let me know what you guys think of some of the top names that I mentioned that performed in this OTA season. Let me know what you guys think about what Safadine had to say. Be sure to go check out the article. You can read more into it. But let me know what you guys think of my take on it. Let me know what you guys think of my take on the OTAs and all that stuff. And I'm going to get to one of you guys' comments of the day. It comes from Chris Kyle. And he says to me, hey, Doug, who's your surprise roster spot? Like, who's your favorite underdog from OTAs that you hope/think makes the team? Now, the reason I picked this comment because it intertwines with what I'm saying, and it's a very good comment/question. I honestly think that my underdog and my surprise. Now, I don't think he'd be a surprise anymore because his name's popped up. It's not Preston Williams because Preston Williams has already been talked about a ton, but it's Sam Iguavagan. I think he will make the team. And now before the OTAs, if I said to you Sam Iguavagan, even while I'm saying it, a lot of you guys were like, who? He was not known. He wasn't really talked about being signed as an undrafted free agent. He wasn't talked about anything. But I honestly think he'll make the team because they need some help at linebackers, especially if they're playing a 3-4. They need that depth at linebacker. And the fact that he's doing well in OTAs, I think he'll make the team. But again, it's OTAs. We need to see what he could do with his pads on when he's getting blocked by an offensive lineman. Can he shed the block? Can he make the tackles? This is when we start to see who will make the team and who will just disappear. It's when the pads come on. So I'm excited for that. But thank you for the comment. Be sure to comment below. I'm making a video. I'm making a fan appreciation video for you guys, where if you feel like I'm not getting to your guys' comments, because I get like hundreds of comments, now's your chance to get your comment in. I'll tell you guys when. I think next weekend I'm going to put the fan appreciation video out. But yeah, I'm going to be picking your guys' comments. It could be about, you can ask me something personal. You can ask me about Dolphin stuff. You can ask me anything, because it's your video, fan appreciation. So I'll ask you guys to give me those comments when the time comes. Also, I got my P.O. box below. If you guys want to send me any packages, any letters, anything, I'm going to open them during that video. So be sure to send it to the P.O. box below. And I'm going to be giving away this beauty right here, the DouglieDoWrong hat. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, be sure to follow me on Twitter. I'm tweeting out a ton of things, some news. Even if it's not Dolphin news, I'll tweet it out with my reaction to it. So be sure to go down there, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram too. I'm starting to post more on Instagram, but I'm not that into Instagram. I'm trying to get back into Instagram. Also, be sure, speaking of Instagram, be sure to go follow the Bit Boys. They post more on Instagram. E3's coming up next week. So be sure to go follow the Bit Boys. We just put out an E3 video talking about some of our predictions and some of the rumors and stuff coming out of E3. We're going to be doing a ton more video games. You guys have been helping me with my Madden gameplay. Some of you guys have been giving me defensive schemes. I played a game of Madden last night on my own, and I beat the guy 21-7. So some of you guys' schemes and some of you guys that are telling me to do things is helping, so keep doing it. Be sure to go check out those videos, subscribe if you like what you see, and you keep helping me try to be better in Madden for Madden 20, and I can start whipping some ass. But be sure to give this video a thumbs up. OTAs is over. Mandatory minicamp is next week, then training camp, then preseason, then the season, and then I need time to slow down because the season went by way too quick last year. I didn't get a real chance to enjoy it, and time freaks me out, does cause me to have anxiety. But be sure to do that. Also, be sure to check out DolphinsTalk.com. Again, if you are watching me right now on DolphinsTalk.com and you're not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button. We are almost at 5,500. When I make it to 10K, I'm promising you to give away a jersey. I'm going to give away a jersey at 10K. So if you guys want that jersey, be sure to subscribe, help us get to 10K. Be sure to check out Dolphins Talk. They got a lot of great things. A lot of Dolphin YouTubers are collaborating with them. We're all part of this huge Dolphin family on DolphinsTalk.com. So be sure to check it out. I will see you guys real soon with another video, probably on Monday. But if something breaks, if some news breaks, you're getting a video from me. But I got a ton of videos planned. Not only do I have mandatory minicamp videos planned, training camp videos planned, fan appreciation videos planned, but I also have a nice, cool Dolphin skit video trying to implement my degree in media with my love for the Dolphins. So be sure to subscribe and stick around for that stuff. But other than that, I will see you guys really soon. But like usual, stay classy and fins up.